another round of predictions. We have a bunch of APAC bangers to determine the power rankings over there, as well as some decent games in NA. Let's hop right into it with our first match of the week, Philly versus Hangzhou. I think Hangzhou take this, but it'll be closer than people give it credit for. I think Philly are still a good team, however they are subject to boomage. Hangzhou played Hangzhou and a Shanghai who is having very clear internal issues. I still don't think they are the clear number 2 in APAC, but I think they look solid. Philly, on the other hand, I worry about them. I genuinely think they could miss out on the Midseason madness at this rate. They do not seem to have a great rate on the meta. While Fury is underperforming, they have a whole list of issues. Give me Hangzhou in 4 maps. Next up is the Chengdu Hunters versus the Hangzhou Charge. Hunters 3-0. Next up, London Spitfire versus the Paris Eternal. Paris just don't look good. Man, they look so limp and weak against a not particularly strong Boston Uprising. Meanwhile, London are still trying to get as many maps as possible and make it into the mid-season madness for sure. London take it in a quick 3-0. Next up, the Houston Outlaws versus the Atlanta Reign. People are saying it could be close, but I don't really see it. Houston were able to play Gladiators somewhat close, but I don't think the Gladiators look particularly strong either. Atlanta plays the same stuff as Houston, but just at a much higher level. Kai versus Merritt, UV versus Lastro, even Hawk versus Piggy and Dante is a wash. I give it to Atlanta 3-1. Next up are the Los Angeles Gladiators versus the Toronto Defiant. I do genuinely think Toronto are looking better. Muses stick with it on the Doomfist, and their Sigma comp is still decent. Toronto on meta are scary, bro. But again, Glads are arguably the best Doom team in North America. Individually, almost every player on the Glads is a tier above their counterpart. I have the Glads 3-1 due to Spaghetti's droppage potential, though. Next up, Seoul versus Hangzhou. Seoul 3-0. Next up, Chengdu versus Valiant. Double points, baby, and dear God, this is a tough one. Both teams like to be on the upswing. Valiant has looked down to Boston's incompetence and has found a real diamond in the rough in Marvel. And Nia, Molly, and Ezhan, and even Innovation are fucking pounding right now. They look very, very scary. But Chengdu just look a bit better to me. Leap is ungodly on the Sojourn. Jinmu is surprisingly flexible, and I think Chengdu have really settled into their niche. And the results don't lie. They took Seoul to the brink while C9ing 3 fucking times, and beat down Philly harder than Chengdu. I'll give it to Chengdu in a 3-2 thriller, because I have no doubt Valiant can stick it to anyone at any time, but they failed to close it out. Next up is another close one. The Dragons taking on the Philadelphia Fusion. Both teams are railing from a 0 to 2 week, but Philly does have a 6-map win streak against the Dragons. However, I do have more faith in the Dragons here. Firstly, Moon has already come out and been very transparent with the issues facing the team last week, showing the team is making steps to improve, and I think they do have a decent understanding of the meta. Expect Fate to be in, and hopefully for the team to show a semblance of organization. Meanwhile, Philly are just confusing, man. Like, they're decent, but sometimes they roll out on, like, Belos Ring on Hog, and I don't think his ball is that good. I think Fate is going to be big for this team. Give me Dragons in 4 maps. I'll see Dragons to win this, and my Chengdu making it to mid-season madness over Philly can come true. I'm ready for it. Next up, Titans vs. Shock. I do kind of want to give Titans a map. Titans have looked extremely good as of late, pushing Dallas to the brink on 2 maps and taking a map from Atlanta. But Shock just look too good, and I don't think they'll screw around and drop a map like last time. Shock 3-0. Next up, Justice versus the Los Angeles Gladiators. This is an exciting time for Justice fans. After a stage and a half, the flexible prodigy rookie Vigilante is entering the starting lineup. Dear God, is that going to be a boon for the Justice? Opener has been relatively silent on the Baptiste, and Vigilante is going to put up carry-level performances on that hero. But I still have the Glads here. I just trust the Glads much more, and their Doom comp does look good. I'll give it to Glads 3-1, but there is a bit of upside potential here, as I generally feel like Washington's Sigma comp is better, so we'll give them a map. Next up, Toronto versus Paris. Again, Paris just looks so weak, and Toronto are on a bit of an upswing. Give me Toronto in 3 maps. Next up is Seoul versus Hangzhou. I'll just say it. Seoul look way too fucking good right now. Stalker has been in the fucking hyperbolic time chamber, ready to snatch Rookie of the Year. Fitz, Prophet, and Smurf are pounding as always, and Vindame is back on his best hero, Brig. How can Hangzhou really compete? I give it to Seoul 3-2. There was some spaghetti droppage against these teams last time, but I trust Seoul a lot more. Next up, the Los Angeles Valiant versus the Shanghai Dragons. Are you guys ready for this? I don't think you guys are ready for this. On July 3rd, 2022, the Los Angeles Valiant, I predict, will take down the reigning champs, the Shanghai Dragons, in 5 maps. But threat god. Why, you ask? Surely this is too far. I don't think so. I think Shanghai is in some trouble. Doom and Sigma are the two most viable comps right now in my opinion, but with the team in Garbo with Voidin seemingly, they have to stick with like Ball or Winston. I think he's bringing it for Chengdu, but Shanghai will likely look less clean as they're pretty much doing an emergency switch right now. Am I off my meds? Yeah. Am I going insane? Yes. Am I on 10 doses of hopium right now? Of course. But I'm fucking printing Valiant to beat Shanghai 3-2. Anyway, time for back-to-back ballsy prediction. Would not look good last week. But I'm still printing them over London anyway. But why? Well, I think Vigilante really does add a ton of star power for this team. I know the narrative is that this team ruins talent with poor coaching decisions, but like, Vigilante is genuinely a Finn-level talent, and Finn has come up huge for shock time and time again. Add in the fact that Doom comps kind of shit on Rain comps, and I already think Washington has the edge in Sigma comps. You got yourself a 3-1 Washington victory. Yeah, I'm probably getting a lot wrong again this week. I don't really care though. Next up, Dallas versus New York. 3-0 Dallas. Also, double points. Finally, Florida taking on the Boston Uprising. I think this will be pretty close. Boston are going through a bit of a revamp right now, and I don't know if we'll see Seeker or not, or even if he'll be an improvement over Victoria. But ultimately, I think Boston does have issues. They can't play dive to save their lives, and kind of tend to get walked over by an ultra-aggressive team like Shocker Florida. But I think Florida has a lot of spaghetti drop potential as well, as in quite a bit of it. So I'll say Boston puts them to the brink in 5 maps, due to me liking Boston better on the Sigma comps. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe for more. I upload nearly daily Overwatch League content, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs with the end of Season 5, so any subscription helps greatly. Thank you.